And also, Forkson, are you here? Let's see who responds first. It is almost 8 o'clock, but it's close enough. Also, because no one else has really posted anything, maybe we didn't. You know what? Okay, we are gonna do the pre-roll really quick. So, all right, we're gonna let that play. Vorkson's here, so we'll probably start with you. So, all right, I'm gonna hit the pre-roll, and then we'll come back. So, give me 2 seconds. Hi everyone, and welcome to Sydney's Critique Night. Every Wednesday, we'll take posts on the Art Critique channel and the community Discord and go over tips, thoughts, and feelings to give those entering another set of eyes on their work. If you're interested in having your work looked over, you can join the Discord by subscribing to my Patreon and purchasing the artist tier, which is $3 USD a month. This will give you access to the critique channel, as well as the weekly art share, where you can make a post every reset, Mondays, to show off your favorite work. A couple of things before we go forward. These are just also be added in the chat and pinned so that there's no chance of anyone breaking the following rules. This is a paid-for service. People are paying me money to look over their art for them and offer them my advice and my input. They have not paid you. Please keep any comments you may have to yourself, even if they were 100% valid. This is not the place. Consent is a core value of mine when it comes to displaying art, and I don't want anyone to feel ridiculed or discouraged from sharing in the future. Please be respectful to the art being displayed as well. It takes a lot of courage to willingly have your art shown and critically looked at in front of an audience of strangers. I went through it during college. It was scary, so again, please be respectful. These rules are in place for the well-being of the artists who are willingly volunteering themselves to be a part of tonight's critique. Breaking these rules will result in a timeout, or further offenses may result in a ban. To finish up, remember, I'm just one cat, a cat with biases and tastes that might not be your thing. Your art might not even be my thing, and that's fine. Art is entirely subjective, and if you disagree with anything I say or any opinions I have, you're free to do so. Don't think my words are the one-all be-all. Art is an expressive journey, and my critique should just be one stop, not the destination. Thank you all for listening, and let's hope tonight's critique goes well. Thank you, me. Why am I lagging so bad? What the fuck? Alright, somehow we're still not even at fucking 8 o'clock, but I don't think it matters that much. So, because Vorkson is here, and Pocket failed to summon to roll call, we're gonna open with Vorkson's, which is a draw this in your style from Misty. I just yeah, pop. There we go. All right, we're gonna take this in for a second. I'm gonna try to stop fucking lagging so bad. Jesus. Alright, now Vorkson, buddy, I gave you homework. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Redo. I gave you homework. Do you remember what the homework was? I await answer. I know, fucking stream delay and actually typing things out is always fun. But we wait to go back and look at it and think of what you can do to make it. Yes. I feel like you worded that weird, but yes, basically. So, tell me, looking at it with yourself, I want to know, what did you decide? I'm going to write it down here. Like, what do you think you want to do differently? going forward, not for this, not if you were going to redo this, but in your next piece of art, what do you want to work on? And the reason, by the way, very quickly, that I give you that kind of vague of what do you want to do next time is because you do a lot here. A lot is happening in this. And depending on where you want to move and like improve, honing in on different aspects of what you've done, especially with just this, can actually help you more than just trying to replicate what you've already done. Again, there is a lot going on just in this, even if it looks really simple, that I want to point out and both give you accolades on, and of course, you know, show you how to improve what you're trying to do. Because I can see the vision. But I want to know so I can write them down here, and I want to see how much of what you're saying and what I will tell you coincide. So I'm genuinely curious. Here, I'll leave this up. Hands are the main thing, because without showing the knuckles, they looked off. Not even noodle, just off. Okay, all right. So you're focusing on your hands. Anything else? We got all the time in the world, brother. Don't worry if you're just sitting with it. So we're going to hop over here and I'm going to write down hands. Look. Off. Face. Off. It's an okay movie. The music is nice. And fitting, actually, because it's Yukumo. The line work, feel as though trying to be careful caused you to make it really small. Okay. Alright. Line art. I'm going to call it thin. Thin. Too thin. Because I see there's also a lot of artifacting going on here and there, which I have to wonder why the pixels go crazy like that. The hell? This is closer to pixel art than it is anything. Oh yeah, no, this is just straight up pixel art. I'm realizing. From a distance, you don't really pick up on it, but then you get closer and it's like, oh, those are just pixels. Which, I mean, technically everything is pixels, but you don't have any of that goop that goes on in a regular line. You just have it looks like it would be bit crushed onto the leapfrog. Did you guys ever play the leapfrog? Yeah, one of these. Open image in new tab. Here we go. You guys ever play one of these? That's what this feels like. The Leapster. Multimedia lean system? It says lean system. Multimedia lean system. Unless it goes LERN system, but then that's spelling learn wrong. Lean system. I miss Berna. You can hear me fucking smacking on my key, my desk. I was gonna say keyboard, but that's my desk. Clothing, you feel as if try to make Kate's jacket look big on her, made the proportions look off. Same with her Goku's rolled up sleeves. Okay. All right. Clothes. Those are the main things. All right. You know what's really funny? These three things are things that I wanted to talk about, actually. So, I think the best place to start is for me to lower the fucking volume of this goddamn music. Shut up. Holy shit. All right. So, step one, right? I can see what you're doing, and you know what you have that vision in your brain, and I get it, right? I can see it. I think the main thing I want to start with is your clothing, actually, because I feel like that's the easiest to talk about to a degree. And that's mostly that you do a really good job of like costuming. I don't know anything about the draw this in your style that was originally posted. I didn't like look at it. I don't remember it. So I don't know if these are what they actually looked like in the original post, but taking it as it is, these are, you know, you have good consistency with the sleeve and the long shirt, and you know, the colors are good. I can see that you took like basically the same color for your shading, so that looks nice across the board, but then that also makes it look a little too flat, going from here to here. And it basically just doing the same thing, where a small thing that you can do very, very easily for your shading, by the by. Those colors are what they wore in the original post. Okay. What you can do when you're shading is when you grab whatever your shade is, move this part, the hue, move that towards whatever is darker. And then you'll get a slightly different color. Ever so slightly. You'll be adjusting the hue, and it'll look a little less flat. But honestly, like with how simple all of this is at its core, not that big of an issue. But the thing that I can talk about, I'm gonna copy paste this again so I can draw over it, is the way that you're doing your folds. This is such an easy, simple way to fix what you're already doing, and it'll make it look like triple times better. So if we get rid of all these folds, right? When you're bending fabric, right? You got to think about where you're putting it, where it's being draped over. If this arm, right, is in foreshortening, which it could be, I don't know. If you're doing like the arm facing away from the person. And the body's supposed to be like over here, right? And the arm's like out here. If this is what you're trying to do, this fold is perfect. Just this little thing right there. You did a good job. Then what you can do to detail it is, instead of going around and adding these like that, the what is it? I'm trying to think of like what that looks like. The dents in a deflated soccer ball. How about that? Make this cut deeper and then play off of it. Like that. And then you could even maybe throw some here or there. But the thing that the fabric is moving over is the arm, which I can see that you've constructed here. Mostly. Because your arm is really big. I know how you do your musculature. So I kind of get it. Right? But if all of this fabric is falling off here because gravity's a thing, it would go like that and kind of bunch up where the arm is actually bending. Same thing down here is that you're doing just that. You're doing a lot more work than you actually need to. So if we once again get rid of all these, right, and kind of smooth this over a little bit. Just a little bit of that. Maybe like here if you want to get really specific. And then you can throw in a crease here where the arm is. Maybe. I don't even think you really need that. But again, like I just got rid of your little passion fruit dents. That's it. And just kind of deepened your cuts as they were already. You don't even need that much. Looks fine. Same thing over here when I was doing stuff with this. I just pulled from where the clothes are bending. That's all you need. Fabric is going to be pulling down from where the like center of mass is. And that's usually where it's being bent. It's kind of being folded around. And honestly, doing fabric, like you doing fabric and doing what you've already done is pretty great. Like, there's like next to... I'm trying to figure out the best way to word it. A lot of people struggle with fabric because it is no different than hands, very fluid. And there's no like set specific way that you're supposed to do it. But if you do it wrong, it looks off. But if you do it right and convincingly, it looks really good. Or it looks too simple, and then it makes you overcompensate. But if you just add lines coming from where... See? Add lines from where your fold is. You are golden. Magnifique. You can go as crazy or as light as you want. You can add some down here. You can add some like in textures here. Just like that. Like, again, such a small shift. Even over here with Rengoku's like shirt, very simple fix. But it's also because I shorthand it because I do a lot of shirts like this. Where if I'm going to draw a shirt and I'm going to have the sleeve rolled up, I do that. That's all I do. You can do that too. This has too many wrinkles, too many folds, and again, it's got that passion fruit look to it. You don't need that. We take those out. Also, you have conflicting directions for your folds. See here? So if your fold is going this way, right? So you have the top of your sleeve going that away. Then you have another fold that's going underneath here. this is now going this way. That's now folding in on itself, and it looks weird. Which is what's happening right here, is this little chef hat top that you got going on. But this part down here is right. This. But it looks off because of this part. If you just... like that. Perfect. Same thing over here. Is that these start curving up. You don't want those to curve up. You want them to complete what's happening over here. You want everything to follow. Safer over here. But even then over here, you would want the same thing. See over here with the example that I gave, that everything flows in a direction. Like that. Right? Even to a degree, because, you know, you do need that little, like, whoop shape. But that's just your flomped shapes. So this is just gravity or rolled upness, things like sitting over top of itself. But it's everything's still going in that same parallel direction. Same thing here, is that you would want these to kind of go in that same direction, but then you'd also want that with the arm here. Hold on. We just nuke that out really quick. See how it's minute, but it's different. It feels different. Same thing over here. You don't need all of these, because what is this fabric is like really bumpy and really off. But if you just nuke all that out of there, right? Cut that up a little bit, and then you just go whoop. Whoop. Boom. I know I just did it like the way that I do it, but that's how close you are to just nailing that. And then also you would want to continue it down just a little bit, because it is wrapping around a 3D object. A lot of what you've done here feels very flat and 2D-esque. But that just comes with practice and over time, just playing around and figuring out how to skew things and adjust things a little bit to make them feel more round and more three-dimensional. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could talk about with clothing. Besides that, I mean, most of your problems that are cropping up just comes down to anatomy. But that's, again, something that you learn over time and get better with, and especially where I want to commend the fact that you didn't just do, like, character sitting forward. You did pose them. Again, I don't know too much about the original Draw This in Your Style bit, but, you know, you have a character looking off, but not entirely side profile. They're turning, which is interesting. You have a character that's looking slightly up, so you have to adjust their face in the plane. They're not just staring straight ahead. You know, you that's good. I like that, because I want to see people that, like, explore that angle of things, because those are hard things to draw. And a lot of people stay in that little, like, baby comfort zone of, oh, I know how to draw a character in 3/4 turn, and it looks pretty good. I don't want to do anything else. I know I say that as I am in 3/4 turn, but shut up. I think we can broach your topic of hands, because your hands don't have palms. They're just kind of fingers that come out of your arms. Like, even over here too. You make space for the palms, but when you draw a hand, here, let's hop over here. when you're doing an arm, if you remember from my arm tutorial, do it in red line, right? You get your arm, your thing, your hand. This last circle is not your hand. This last circle is your wrist. So when you add your shoulder and you add your bicep and then you do your forearm ends at the wrist, and then an extra part comes out, which is a little wedge. It's a little trapezoid. This is the hand. And this little wedge is your best friend, as this shape is what you're going to be moving around in 3D space. So if you need a hand moving forward, right, like in 3D space like this, you do with this. Right? And then you have your fingers come out, and then you can kind of like finagle it like that. Right? Doesn't look super terrible, but beggars can't really be choosers with their examples. Also, this kind of looks like a foot, don't it? We've talked about that a bit. But your thumb comes out to there, your hand goes out to there, and then you have your 4 fingers, unless you are a rat and you have 3 fingers, like I do. But just like that, see? So if we go back over to this, for example, your wrist or hand is where the end of the circle is. Because there is no wedge that your fingers come out of. It is, if anything, a side square that and then your thumb comes out of your hand like that, or your arm rather. Very small fix, once again, is even with the size of the arm of this character, which is pretty beefy because they're a beefy gal. You just add your little wedge in the direction that you want it to go, and then you add your fingers on top of it. Just like that. I know I make that look easy, but this shape here, your wedge, is really important. Because otherwise you get have you guys seen Server Blight? It's looking a little Server Blighty. That right there. Same thing over here when we look at Rengoku, is that the thumb is coming out of his arm. This over here is a good amount of space for your palm, but the thumb should be coming here. And then the fingers come out like here. Is what I'm saying making sense? I want to make sure before I keep going. Like, any questions so far about what I'm saying? Ow. Yeah. My pants are like really tight around the ankle, so they end up getting really itchy. Also down here with this hand, while I wait for you to... Okay, it's making sense. Good. You have your wrist here, and then you do have your wedge, which is really, really good. Right? Boom. But your sizing is off, and your thumb is way off. You don't want your thumb any longer than your wedge. In most cases. If you actually look at your thumb, right? Presumably, it's not going to go very much further than your knuckle. If you're holding it like flat, like your hand like flat, and all of your fingers pressed together, it's not going to go much further than your knuckle. Like maybe a little bit further depending on the shape of your thumb. I kind of have like weird long thumbs, so like I get it, but it shouldn't go much further past. It should not be hitting like first or second digit of your index finger. It should not be doing that. And you would want your index finger to be about the length of your wedge. Right? And then you kind of go in a very subtle arc, which you kind of already have here. But also your fingers are kind of curving. This one's curving, and then these ones kind of curve like that. If you're having your hand down, the best thing I can say is bend it. And then couple these two together like that. And then have the pinky be about on that down slant curve like that. And you get that. Oh. Hi, Cosmic. And yes, we do art critiques every Wednesday. But that's how you fix that hand. I do like the addition of the nails, though. And also another small thing. This is like across the board. Lines. Details, like little digit lines and things like that. Those make things look old. Because the more lines you have, the more it looks like wrinkles and the older it looks. And I understand that you added them because it looked wrong without them. But I feel like it kind of tells you why it looks wrong without them, even more so looking at it like this. You know what I mean? Same thing here. Not super necessary. But that's also just like a personal thing of mine. I don't really like adding too much like wrinkly detail. It is for Cosmic, it is oh fuck, what is it? Step 1, you have to subscribe to our Patreon to the $3 artist tier, and then you have to submit it to the link that we have in our Discord. That's how you join. Oh shit. It's just because like before I did that, people would ask for help and I would get too distracted while I was trying to work on my own thing. So now I have like a dedicated day for it, and also like a way to cut people off so that not everybody's downing me all the time. Not saying you would do that, but it's for my sanity. Sometimes I like working on stuff, and I'm supposed to be working on stuff, but it's whatever. We just played a little too much Monster Hunter. What else did you say you wanted stuff on? Art too thin, clothes, hand looks off. So we did your hands look off, we did your clothes. Time to talk about your line art. So again, Vorkson, you already know, but this is, again, I'm sorry. Oh, wait. I have an even funnier comparison. But it's like in a good way. Yes. Found it.
Please give me a whole tray of peas. Thank you.
Sorry. But like you can see what I'm getting at with like the pixel line thin pixel art. You know what I mean? That's this, but that's just brush settings. Because I forget, are you using Metabang? Or are you using something else? We wait. Is it bad that you kept this? Is it bad that this kept coming to you while you were drawing it? So you were aware of it. Good. Okay. You're using Metabang. All right. What pen tool are you using? that's like making it look like this. Cause you ain't using my brush, cause I gave you my brush. 3.3 pixels, pen, type pen, size by pressure. There's nothing else that goes into this. And you should be getting like big chunky line. Delightful line. Not to scribble all over your work. Let me double check, see if anybody else has posted anything. Nope, it's just Pocket next. If Pocket's even here. Might have to @ Pocket. It was a you thing and not the software, trust me. Okay. I believe you. I believe you. But yeah, no, like I think honestly, besides that, again, most of the things that I quote unquote have an issue with are things that you'll just learn over time. Like I could have a go at you for like your head here, because you're doing the thing that people do where they structure the jaw and the circle of the head like really, really big. Like that's your jaw, when what you would want instead is like at most that. Right? But also over here with Rengoku, this also just comes down to how you draw your noses. Your face structure is actually really good. Like here's an eye. This is where your nose is. You put your mouth there. Your neck is here. Like this. Hold on. Da 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 da. Ba ba. Sorry. Fuck. No, but the point I'm trying to make, sorry, is that like this is properly proportioned what you did here. This looks really good. And if we deconstruct your body a little bit, I mean, besides him getting like a little wider towards the bottom, looks like one of those. Oh my god, you're so right. Oh, you know what else it looks like? You know, okay, because it's on my mind, because me and Puck have been watching it. Little dude. Side. Can I find the little dudes? Yeah. No, not, no. Open image in new tab. Open image in new tab. It doesn't want me to get rid of Reddit, I guess. But it looks like one of these little dudes. These guys are great. That's what that feels like. But no, like seriously, I mean, he gets a little wide, but that might be on purpose. But your structures are good. You definitely paid mind to your structures. Where the fuck am I? There I am. Like you structured out what you wanted, which is really, really good. Even here with Misty's character. Like even here, you had your wedge, which is good. Here with the body. Like I can see what you were doing. Even here, right? But if I construct that like you have it with that, right? With your ear. You can kind of see where, like, it's right, but somewhere between translation into this side of the head, I think what happened is that you didn't expunge your features very far. Because with a face like this, the nose comes out. The mouth comes out. The eyes sit very close to the front of the face. And then, yeah. You also didn't, like, keep everything, proportional. That's the word. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Because the bottom of your ear, right? If you feel where the bottom of your ear is and you draw like a line, apparently that's where my mouth is. Is that so? Oh yeah, because it is basically at the base of your jaw, so that's where that is. And then the top of your ear is about where the top of your eye is. Right. Right. Technically, bigger. But your facial proportions are just a little skewed off, but otherwise they would be totally fine. It felt more like you wanted to stay close to the circle rather than adding on top of it, because that's actually what you would be doing here. But again, I will give credit. Side profiles are annoying when you're starting out, because it like throws everything that you know out the window about like drawing a face, because you're just doing it on one side. That's like way too happy for the jawline I drew. Just like that. But ultimately, again, this is shit that comes with practice. And I think all of the things that you've demonstrated in just this drawing alone are really, really good, like, fundamental ideas. You are aware of things that like most people don't pay attention to. Like clothing folds. Like even the gravity of this folding down is really good. The posing of your characters is unique enough at this state that it's like good. You have good set dressing. You know, even your shadows are actually really good. You did a good job on these. I gotta give you credit for those. And your props look good too. Like I don't know what that is, but that's just because I don't really go to ramen places that often, so that just looks like a spade. I assume it's a soup spoon, but again, I don't know. But I think a lot of the things that would elevate what you've already done, like, just genuinely come with practice. And I could like tell you until the cows come home how to, you know, fix your posing, or, you know, oh, you should add more depth to your background, stuff like that. But I'd rather you play around with that and come to those conclusions on your own after you've worked on the things that you yourself feel like you want to work on. Because that's one of the most important things about improving in art, is that you need to be doing what you want to improve on, rather than the stuff that I don't want to say that you feel like you should be, but get to the point where you can be making something that you're happy with and then use that as your anchor point. And a good amount of it you were uncomfortable with doing because it was your first time doing it. No, of course. Yeah, dude, no problem. And yeah, no, you did great. You know, Everybody has things that they can work on, of course, regardless of skill. You could have walked in here and submitted. Hold on, I got this. I got this. You could have walked in here and submitted. How do they look? Okay, they got like that. And then they have like a ponytail. And then Rengoku is Rengoku, so he's just got like spikies. You could have submitted this. Oh, hold on, we gotta add the bowl. That's too much. There we go. The bowls. We'll write bowl inside so people know what that is. You could have submitted this. And I still would have had positive things to say. Because I love this. Actually, it's really cute. And what matters, yes, is literally what you just said, is that as long as you have fun making something, that's the most important part. If you're not having fun, what the fuck is the point? Like, legit, what's the point? And I'm glad that you had fun with it. You added to fill in dead space. Okay. So that's the thing that I yell at Pocket for, is too much dead space. But it can't give you shit, because if anything, it's actually good set dressing, and it actually tells more of a narrative about what's going on, which I like. You used your dead space appropriately. We like that. Because you could have just cut that out. You could have gotten rid of this entirely and just been like, that's not a thing. Right? But then that gets that kind of removes what's going on. But then you filled it in and you actually have like a structured narrative. I know, a whole narrative being done in a single illustration, that's crazy talk. But you did it. That's awesome. That is like way better than most, honestly. So that's really good. And I want to see you make more stuff. Make more. Because I feel like the more you play with this, the more you'll get it. And I think, not to completely segue off of your art into like an entirely different topic, but that's what the upcoming AI video is going to be about, is that a lot of AI artists don't like art. I've talked about that a little bit before, but they have no love for the craft. They have no love for what they're making. It's like they're a soulless machine pumping out what they think people want. And I would prefer somebody be horrible at, making art, right? Not you, Vorkson. Don't worry. I'm not talking about you, just talking in general. I would rather somebody make mistakes, and I would rather somebody fuck up and either learn from them or maintain them, even. Keep making those same mistakes over and over again, but still enjoying actually making what they're making. They liked how whimsical Cade's and Rengoku's relationship is. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know much about their characters, to be fair. But I feel like I've talked about it before in a lot of my earlier tutorials, where comparison is the thief of joy. If you're comparing yourself to other people's work, you're always going to come up short. I do it. Like, it doesn't go away. That's the part of why I feel confident saying, like, stop worrying about it, because it's not going to go away. You're always going to see somebody that's doing something differently than you, and you're going to go, fuck, I like that. I want to do that. How do I do that? I don't know how to do that. And it's going to bother you. It's going to bother you a lot. It doesn't go away. That feeling stays with you. Does not matter how good you get. There will always be that imposter syndrome and that feeling of, oh, maybe I should just quit. It doesn't go away. But the important thing about that is that you don't lose sight of having fun. You should always enjoy what you're making. And the second you're not enjoying it anymore, stop. Just drop it, move on. Do something new. Do something different. If something's giving you a really fucking hard time, stop. There's no one holding a gun to your head. You know? And I think too, a lot of young artists get into the idea that they need like an art style. They need something that helps them stand out. And it's like, for fucking who? You know what I mean? Like, for fucking what? What do you need an art style for? Are you a brand? Are you a TV show that needs to stay stylistically consistent so that, you know, it's not jarring and weird when something goes, like, gets added or changes? No, you don't need that. Why do you need that? Go have fun. Go fuck around. Go draw a shit ton of different ways. I wouldn't have developed the way that I draw if I didn't, like, bend my fucking ideals around different shit that I liked. If I said, like, no, this is my one art style and I will never change, that's so fucking lame, dude. Like, what, fucking why? It's also why I empathize with, like, art teachers when, like, you get, like, that, like, angsty high schoolers that's like, this is my art style, and oh shit, I broke a thing. I'm not gonna change, and, like, you don't understand, it's just my style. It's like, no, it's not. It's not. You're not doing it on purpose, you're doing it by accident. You don't have, like, a reason for that thing existing. But they're having fun. Why does it matter? It don't matter. As long as you're enjoying what you're making, regardless of how cringe it is, doesn't matter. Have fun. And I'll never tell somebody to not have fun. I will, however, as we have witnessed before, get really fucking critical and insulting when somebody decides to do that back to me. Like, unsolicited. That is also why we have the critiques behind a paywall, and why we do them on Wednesdays, and why I specifically set aside time for them, is because if you're gonna be involved in this, I don't want, like, unsolicited critiques going through. I want you to be present, I want you to be mindful, I want you to be aware of what I'm saying. And also, one of the more important things is that you don't have to fucking listen to me. If Vorkson turned around and said, like, nah, shut up, I know what I'm doing, I'd go like, okay, you know what you're doing, I don't give a shit. Like, cool, awesome, ignore me then, to keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate the confidence. I'll shut up. I just know that art is one of those things that requires a lot of perspective. You need to kind of understand a lot of different things, like a lot of different things, to make even, like, a passable piece. And not knowing what you need to be aware of is kind of hard when you're on your own and you're just trying to find shit that will help you, like, get better. You know what I mean? Like, you could, like, you could go find, like, a million different tutorials telling you how to draw a body, but they're not going to tell you, oh, hey, when, like, you know, the hand moves this way, these muscles move like this. You're not gonna think about that on your own. Unless you're like a god, which you totally could be. I hope what I'm saying is making sense and sticking with people. I hope. Because ultimately, as long as you guys are having fun, and that's why I try to push, like, having fun while learning, doesn't matter. Does not matter like the quality of anything that you're doing, because who gives a shit? You're learning, you're getting better, you're playing, you're having fun. It's a hobby. Don't compare yourself to people that make this shit their fucking job. Like me. Because like me, I don't make shit. You guys should make shit. I just keep trying to make shit and failing. I hope that made sense. I hope any of that made sense. Because again, we live in a time where art is like more than ever, holy shit, just like dogged on for some reason. But it's because people don't get it. And that's why I want to try and push people to understand art, even if they're not like necessarily fantastic at it, or even understand like how to get something somewhere. You know what I mean? I feel like the more people that appreciate art, the better it is to like live, I guess. I'm excited for the one tutorial video I talked about where I teach you how to learn on your own and not follow instructions on some video. Kind of. It's kind of what it is. It's more so just like 3 guidelines that like will make learning and make things that are uncomfortable more comfortable. Here, I'll give you a little taste. The first tip, literally the first tip, is you need an anchor point. You need something that when you're working on a new project, regardless of what it is, you need something that will always be enjoyable for you to do. Whether that's a comfort character, whether that's a certain location, whether that's a genre, or anything else, as long as you have something that brings you comfort and joy to be working towards, it doesn't matter what you'll be learning or what you'll be doing, you will be enjoying dealing with that thing. Like for me, for instance, you know, why do you think Elise is in every single one of my college films? Even when they kind of like bend what they need to be doing. Doesn't matter. I would work her into everything because I enjoyed drawing her and I had fun working with her. She is my anchor point. Even when we were working on the video game, remember how fucking frustrated I was getting with shit? But remember how happy I was when I was making her run around and jump? That was awesome. I was having a ball. I was having a grand old fucking time with that. But it didn't matter when things started going wrong because you know what? At the end of the day, I still got her to move around a little bit and I enjoyed working with her first and foremost. Now, of course, you can't always translate what you want over into something new, of course, but having it as a relative anchor point, which, you know, like a boat, you can still be on the ocean with an anchor, but you can still be moving around on the ocean up top. You can be turned around the other way. You can be like a little further away from the anchor. You can be leaning away from the anchor a little bit. There's a whole bunch of different locations you can be around your anchor point. And that's tip 1 that we'll get more information on when that video inevitably comes out. Because, shit. Just dropped the thing. My bad. Literally the most important thing that you can do is have something that you'll always have fun working with. Because it keeps you motivated. And also when something goes right, then something that you love is getting recognized. That feels really good. Like when a video goes live and it's got Elise in it and it does really well and people like that they see cute bunny girl, I'm ecstatic. I'm happy that people like her. So, that's tip 1 of that video. Little fucking spoiler for you guys. But, yeah. Alright, try at Pocket. Is Pocket present? She's next. But also, I don't have much to say because, like, I already critiqued what she did. But, like, all she did was add shading. So I don't really have much to add. I might just pull it up on stream anyways and compare the two. Maybe that's what I'll do. But I want her here for this, at least. Ah, fuck it. Bum, 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 bum. So we'll grab her initial image, copy image. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Jesus Christ, girl. She needs to stop making these things so fucking massive. Alright, so here's our finished piece. And it looks really good. It's gonna look blurry because I zoomed it way the fuck out, but even still with the blurriness, it looks really good. I'm actually really impressed with this. This came out really well. And I know she was very, very happy about this wood texture, and she did a very good job on it. It's very, very nice. Because I don't know how much of that is like copy and pasted over. It looks like it's like hand done. So that's really, really nice. That's a minute detail that like not a lot of people are probably going to pay attention to, but like, because I know she cared about it that much, I'm giving it mind. I do also like the little wispies. Or this timestamp to tag her in later. Okay, fair enough. 4 hours, 10 minutes. But I also like the border that she added around it. I feel like that kind of gives it a little bit more of like a picturesque kind of look. Kind of gives it a nice like border contrast for the rest of the picture. Like you're looking through a window or something. It's nice. It's a nice addition. But then we compare it to the original that she posted like forever ago. The fuck is it? Or did she DM it to me? I think she DM'd it to me. Yes, she did. Okay. So we look at this. You'll notice an immediate stark difference. I'm gonna shrink it down even more. So again, a big point that Pocket mentioned was that the shading wasn't added yet, but the main thing that I commented on was the fact of all of this dead space that the picture had. All of this space here, she was struggling to figure out how to fill it. And my recommendation was just get rid of it. You don't need to fill it. It doesn't need to be there. And then what did she do? She did it. It looks really good. It's way more honed on the actual action of what's going on. Everything feels more like natural to be looking at. You start at the top here from top right, which is where the character is leaning most in from. And then you go down, you get like, you know, number on the chest, and then you get the horse, and then you get the action of the horse and everything else. And the horse's gaze is going back this way. Everything about this is really concise. It's really nice. I think the shading is fantastic. Pocket, when she, you know, really dives into something, really fucking dives into it and does a fantastic job. You know, she does a good job. I mean, there's a few anatomical things that I could say about the character, like the hands are kind of jank and the foreshortening on the arms are kind of jank. But really, I have to go with the rule of animation here, where it's like, who's actually paying attention to that at the wider scale of things? That's like zooming in and staring at them and being like, I don't think those are right. Learning a good amount about dead space and art today. Yeah. It's important to realize, like, okay, that's another thing that I was going to talk about in the fucking video, is understanding your camera and actually studying, like, movies. Because the more you understand how to tell a narrative with just positioning alone, the more, appealing your art will become, like, off the rip. It doesn't need to be well done. It just needs to be structured properly. Think of something like the original webcomic for One Punch Man, for instance, right? Its art wasn't great. It was kind of bad, actually. But the writing was really strong, and the the pictures that went along with it were structured really well, so you could understand what was going on, so it wasn't a fucking mess. That is the difference between someone being able to draw really good, but struggling to structure out the actual illustration that they're doing. I'm trying to think of a good example of my own work that I can pull up. Do I have any old? Maybe I do. Not this. This is recent. Like putting her in a bunch of different locations and doing stuff like that. Let me go to my old drawings folder and see if I can't find like some weird positioning. But also that might be hard for ego moment for 5 seconds, where back in the day I was actually studying film. So I kind of knew all of this stuff when I started getting better, which is why I tell people to focus on camera bullshit. Do I have anything good? I think a really old back. Oh, yeesh. No, that's like okay. That's like okay. Actually, here's a good example of a different thing. This is going to be a lesson in contrast. This is old art of me, by the way. This is from 2017. Yeah, that's like okay. Man, I did not do a lot of wide-scale illustrations back in the day, did I? Huh. Old Parzival. They look different. Oh, we can look at like old comics that I did. That looks like shit. Trying to find a good example of like bad structure of art. Oh god, that might be really bad. What is this? Oh god! Jesus Christ, I made this? Holy fuck. It was I, Granny Dio! Oh. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, bye, Grammy D. My dearie, I bet you thought some nice girl would be your first kiss, but it was I, Granny Dio. Oh, that's pretty fucking funny. No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of better shit to talk about. Can't find ideas. I cannot. And Parsley used to be so cool. He's always had that fucking sweatshirt on, though. What a loser. Like, change shirts, dude. For real. This one's bad. This one's, like, really bad. I want to do the test that we always did. Color. Ooh, yeah. That's, like, dark. That's, like, a dark across the board. There's, like, no brights in this at all. This is terrible. I made this? This is shit. Holy fuck. Ew. Gross. This is so much better, though. Ready for the difference? Look at that difference. Look at the contrast difference between these two pictures. How crazy is that? Oh, even here, I bet this has good contrast. I didn't make it with the intent of having good contrast, but maybe it does. That's saturation. I want color. Not that it matters too much. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, she looks good. This one I made specifically with good contrast, though. Yeah, that one's really good. Nah, I really like this one. I like how this one came out. But that's unrelated to the whole reason I pulled these up is for like shot composition junk. Is that you want to be filling up as much of your space as possible. And when you're not filling your space with something, there should be something there that's telling a story or telling a narrative or, you know, going on. Even here, with how big this space is, it's kind of meant to communicate that she's moving through a large space, which I think I did a good job of. Here, this looks like shit. This looks okay, but this is all just contrast. Man, even back then, I was doing a good job of it. Man, gotta do this more often. Like, we start with our core character and speech bubble. We know who's talking. And we go over here, we get 2 speech bubbles of this character talking. We stay in this shot for a second while they finish talking, but it just goes right across to there. We get this action of the hand moving forward and then the toss. That could be better communicated because it could be up here, but that's okay. Catch the bag, more communication, but it's more talking. I could have done that better. And then all of these shots follow the rule of thirds, at least in comic book wise. Because it's like setup, interaction, reaction, or whatever the fuck. Even back then. What's this last one? Oh, same thing with this. Even though it's multi. Like, this is, again, I know I'm just kind of glazing myself right now, but like, you know, if these had speech bubbles attached to them, they'd be good. Structure 1, structure 2, structure 3, like this is a quick action. And then this is like the setup to the punchline and then the punchline. And then the punchline's the biggest frame out of all of these. Even with how just like hand-drawn everything is. It's just fucking crazy. So I feel like I did a pretty bang-up job of drawing Dio's fucking face. From memory, probably. I don't even know when this was. This was definitely around the time that it was me Dio meme was going around, though. Maybe like 2018, 2019. No. I had to have done this in high school, so this was definitely like 2017, 2018. But Dead Space. Pocket got rid of it. Good job, Pocket. Woo, Pocket. I also like the little like grass fall like particles going on. That was really good. Nah, because around 2019, like after I graduated high school, which is in 2018, I stopped watching JoJo as religiously. I started watching it with Koopa, like when I met them, but that was in 2020, going into 2021. Mind you, you were in the 8th grade. Shit, you were way younger than me. Holy fuck. What the hell? Oh shit, I dropped Ahsoka. I have a Lego Ahsoka that I'm fucking with right now. I'm just like moving her arms and like swapping which hands her lightsabers are in. She's got the 2 lightsabers, which is pretty cool. I'm just messing around with it. But no, Pocket took what I said now and did a fucking good job. Oh, she did fucking fantastic. And if she doesn't end up winning that fucking contest, I swear to God, I'm gonna set someone's house on fire in game. House on fire in game. In a video game. Their house will be on fire in a video game. Yup. But no, I think she did a fantastic job. There's like little to much that I can say about this that wouldn't just be like needless nitpicks, because honestly, she did great. Again, I feel bad when there's not a lot of shit for me to say, but for the most part, I don't like telling people how to draw or changing what they're doing or like trying to be like, you should do this instead. It's like, no, that's dumb. People don't want to listen to that. They want to get better at the things that they want to do. And for Pocket to listen to what I said, which was to cut all this out, make your life like way easier. She did. Hell, actually, if anything, it makes this field feel more alive because these fences back here feel really restrictive. So getting rid of them in this makes this feel more open, but also puts all of this more back. Like, we don't have that much context for the ground, so we're not really worried about it. much like we would be over here where we see more of the ground, so we're more worried about what's going on here. We're curious about the setting, like where the fuck even is she? We don't really care because she could be anywhere right now. That too, also about like space and how your space is set up and how your camera is shot, is it leads to questions that you might not intend. If somebody is looking at a picture and they're like, huh, I wonder why X is like Y, and it wasn't intentional, that's both a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, depending on what it is that they're asking. Because I know some people do actually like not like leaving things up to like audience interpretation, which is always fine, but you do need a reason for your own interpretation so that it's not just, oh, I'm leaving it open-ended for fun. It's like, no, what do you think? You don't have to share it with other people, but if you're not thinking about what it is that you're representing, it has no meaning. Which is a mild fucking thing about certain movie directors that bothers the fuck out of me. Hate them when they do that shit. Fucking cannot stand that. When it's like, oh, I don't know anything about the movie. I don't even think about my own movies that much. It's like, okay, well, you didn't put that much thought into the fucking goddamn script, you piece of shit. Fuck off. I'm not talking about anyone. I just like saying in general, but yeah, this is how I feel about shit. You know, that's how it be. Anyways. But no, Pocket did great. I'm glad that she took what I said to heart and worked with it. I feel like across all of her art, she does a lot of dead space. I feel like she likes working with really big canvases and a lot of big space, but not really thinking about how it services what she's actually trying to make. But honestly, I think the conversation that I already had with her over it is probably in her mind, and hopefully she sticks with it, because I think she's been doing a great job lately. And same thing with Vorkson. Like, dude, keep it up, man. Don't quit. Keep going. Keep trying. Keep learning. If you have any more questions, dude, at any time on any project that you're working on, feel free to ping me. I'll take a look at it when I get a chance. Not necessarily a full-ass critique, of course, but if you're like, hey, how does this work? How does this hand go? I got you covered, brother. Don't worry. But, yeah, those are the two critiques that we had this week. No one else has really posted anything. So, I'm chill with it. Because technically these are from last week, so... just never got around to it. But, I'll... 4 hours, 10 minutes. 4 hours, 10 minutes. Shit, so I've only talked for like 17 minutes. That's crazy. But yeah, I'll let Pocket know about that later down the line, so she can give that a watch and just hear me basically say, yeah, you did a good job. Good shit, proud of you. Keep going. Hey, it's me. One of those presidents, guys. But no, you guys did great. And I'm happy I get to see your work, genuinely. And that I get to talk about it. I like getting to talk about like everybody's work, because I feel like everyone here, let's hop over here for a second. Because like, again, all of these get uploaded as actual videos. Where is 101? There it is. One of the main things I feel like happens, especially when you're like an upstart and just starting art, or, you know, you're somebody that kind of keeps art to yourself, or, you know, you don't really post stuff too much, is that you kind of get in your own head and you have your own opinions and your own thoughts about what you're doing. And sometimes, especially when you have like a friend group that is just supportive or just negative, you don't really get that in between of, you did a good job here, but this is what you need to work on. You get people that just blow smoke up your butt, like, yeah, you did great, good job, proud of you. And it's like, man, you're so awesome, you're great at this. It's like, no, that's not what I want to fucking hear. I want you to tell me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. Like, I want you to tell me how you feel about this, but not everybody is equipped to talk about that. And that's why, personally, I feel that I like putting myself in that position where I can be that person for people, because I don't want to tear you down or, you know, like build you way the fuck up. I want to keep you level with yourself and give you a second like perspective on what you're making. Because at the end of the day, with all art, everything that you're making is what you want to make, not what I want you to make, what you want to make. And the second I overstep that boundary and start telling you what I want you to do, in the sense of like, oh, stop drawing this in general and do that. Stop drawing fucking medieval armor and shit and go draw realistic modern life. That's fucking dumb. No, I don't want to do that to people. That's fucking stupid. Just, you know, in general, when it comes to art, have fun. First and foremost. That's across the board. You gotta be having fun to be enjoying what you're doing. And have fun learning, too. Don't just get hung up in one thing. Try new shit. Try exploring different things. My favorite experience when I was in college wasn't even fucking, what is it? It wasn't even working on animation. It was legit my foundation year. That was my favorite time, because it got me trying a bunch of different shit that I've just never gotten to do before. And it was awesome. Like, I got to do woodworking, I got to do crochet, I got to paint. I hated painting, but with that, I learned that I hated painting. Hated painting? An old peer of yours overheard her admitting that she was moving school districts so she didn't need to deal with ASD kids. Yup. Yup. You gotta love modern teachers that can't handle teaching kids. It's great, ain't it? That's neither here nor there. Oh, mushroom guys. Is that just what they're called? Sorry, I'm looking at the little guys from Common Side Effects. They're so fucking freaky. So weird. This is from 2 months ago. Damn, this show is out 2 months ago. Jesus, I am behind the times. But ultimately, again, legitimately, have fun with what you're making. Focus on that first and foremost. That's the most important thing that you can be doing across the board. And don't let other people tell you what to do, but also listen to what they're saying. You don't have to do what they're saying, but listen to what they're saying. Because how they feel, what they think, and what they see is how your art is being observed. And that might lead you towards something that you might change to achieve something different. Think of it like Scott Cawthon, right? I know that's a weird segue, but trust me, it's going somewhere. So when Scott originally was making video games, he made some like Bucky Beaver thing, and he got a hate comment that said, this looks like, you know, Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. This looks like a horror animatronic. And then he said, no, I can do that. Fuck off. I can do that better. And then he made Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, nah. Listen to what people are saying and take it the way that you want to take it. But that doesn't mean you need to pick and choose, is what I'm saying. Pick and choose what you want to take and what you want to ignore and what you want to try and what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, art is self-expression. It is expressing yourself. Regardless of how much you learn or how skilled you are, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it is entirely expressing what you like and what you don't like and what you know and what you don't know. And I think, to tie it all up into the video that's going to be coming out next week, that is why AI artists aren't artists and they hate art. Because they don't understand that it's expression. They don't want to express themselves. They want clout, they want fame, they want notoriety, and they want big booba waifus. And that's it. And they don't want to work for it. I had to work for my tits. These tits? Oh my god, they took me so much time. Do you know how much time this took me? Like a week, maybe 2. God, they wouldn't understand the level of effort that goes into making tits. Never would, never will. All right, that's enough of the critique video. So we're gonna shift gears and we're gonna start doing something else, which is good timing because music just ended. Clappy, clappy, clappy. All right. You know what I think I want to do? I want to do something that we haven't done in a little while. And I want to keep working on animation, but like my wrist kind of hurt. And I feel like we did really good today, so I think we'll take a break. But what I'm going to do instead